the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the post investigation brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. If you're wondering, Adam, why do you have the same shirt on in another video I just watched you in? I just did a video on what type of offense I think Nebraska is going to run next year. I'm wearing this same exact shirt. Why would that be? Well, because I wear the same clothes each and every day, day after day. No, I'm just kidding. I just recorded the shows back to back, and I didn't feel like changing my shirts, and it's like college all over again. All right, today's show, well, here's what it's not about. It's not about whether I'm pro-transfer portal or anti-transfer portal, because I've already talked about that. All right, the arguments for the transfer, or against the transfer portal, I guess we can start with that, is there's no accountability for the players. The guys don't want to work for it and things of that nature. And I'm not that drastic, but I tend to fall in that camp more than I don't. And I've shared this before, so I'll go through it quickly. I've seen guys come in, highly recruited guys, and then they come in and they're not playing as well. Or one specific case that comes to my mind, he was one of the best players in the state of Missouri, came in, hurt both knees. Frankly, not only wasn't the same player, he was frankly not very good. And his position coach, and I've seen coaches in that scenario treat players bad. His position coach treated him like hot garbage, but there was nothing he could really do because you had to sit out a year, so on and so forth. So for me, I understand both arguments because it gives more power to the players. It holds the coaches more accountable, but the players don't have to work for it. They can come and go too easy. It's like NFL free agency, yada, yada, yada. Okay, again, this isn't pro or anti-transfer portal show. I've already talked about that. What this is we've got to embrace the transfer portal. We have got to make it a strength of ours. Because up until now, I have felt like the transfer portal's our enemy. It's the enemy of the Husker football program. It is. We've had a lot of top 20 classes. Over the past 4 years, our recruiting classes average ranking is 20th in the country over the past 4 years. But we lose a lot of players to the transfer portal. It seems like a lot more leave than come in. And every school is dealing with this. That's my point, though. This is a part of college football, whether we like it or not, and we've got to turn what up until now has felt like an enemy of our football program into a strength. Now, we have brought some guys in. We have had some success with the transfer portal. You look at a guy like Samori Toure, and I'm going to share some stats with you. And I want to give a shout out to @HuskGuys on Twitter because they did a great job looking up these stats. So I'm going to share them, but give them the credit. Samori Toure, the transfer, the FCS All-American transfer to Nebraska this year, currently leads the Big Ten in yards per catch with 21.8 yards per reception. He's also 6th in receiving yards, 718 yards, and 8th in touchdowns with 4. All right, now if you look at Nebraska's offense as a whole, we've had a hard time putting the ball in the end zone. We've not had a hard time getting big plays. A lot of that has to do with Samori Toure. A lot of it has to do with our receivers. So look at this. Nebraska's offense has the second most yards per play, and second most yards per game, and 4th most touchdowns in the Big Ten. Cybermetric stat of the day, they said. Nebraska's top 12 wide receivers all average at least a first down every time they touch the ball. Adam, what in the blue hell does this have to do with the transfer portal? When you get inside the red zone, because we are a big play offense, we do not consistently move the ball. But when we get in the red zone, we're pretty bad. I was going to say not good, but we're pretty bad. Why is that? Because all of a sudden you can't throw the ball into big windows. All of a sudden that field is shrunk and the passing lanes get shrunk. And what do you have to do? You got to be able to run the ball. First and foremost, that starts with the O-line. They got to play better. But here's the transfer portal. Running backs that have transferred. Greg Bell, #1 JUCO running back in the country when he came in. Maurice Washington, remember how talented he was. Ronald Tompkins, Wan'Dale Robinson, blowing it up at Kentucky. Sevion Morrison. Now, if you didn't know us about Sevion, he ran for 5,000 yards in high school and set every rushing record in Oklahoma high school history, it seems like, when he was here. And he got beat out by Ramir Johnson, Gabe Irvin at the beginning, so maybe he just wasn't practicing as well as these other guys, but you got to wonder, okay, how did we only get 116 yards out of him during his time here? So here's my point. The transfer portal, especially in that running back room, a lot of guys have left. We're struggling in the red zone, struggles in the run game in the red zone. To me, it goes hand in hand. So here's my point. We've got to turn the transfer portal into a strength of ours and stop letting it be an enemy of this football program. Obviously, we've got to look at quarterbacks. We got to look at a pass rusher. I mean, we're 7th in scoring defense in the Big Ten, but we're tied for 11th with 17 sacks in 10 games. That's just over a sack and a half a game. But 12th, 13th, and 14th in the Big Ten Conference are only 1 sack behind. So we're only 1 sack away from being tied for last in the Big Ten Conference. Also, we need a kicker. You look at Nebraska Wesleyan's kicking stats, Their extra points are better. Their field goal percentage is better. Maybe we should go poach their kicker. Now, I do want to mention an individual who's on the Nebraska roster right now, and that's Kellen Meyer. Okay, he's a freshman walk-on from Orden, Nebraska. Did some good things in high school. Part of me wonders why not just put him out there now? He's redshirting. I mean, either give him a try or go for it on fourth down every time the situation comes up. I'm good with either one. A lot of this depends on what type of offense we end up running. Go back and check out that video I referenced earlier. Until next time, Husker Nation, go big red, and always remember, throw the bug. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.